Hello beautiful and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk all about awareness without judgment. Duh! Thank you Zandy Girl Games for suggesting this video. It's something I think about a lot. My journal is just filled with ideas and kind of advice for myself on this topic. It's something I've been exploring so deeply, I would say the past 2 months or so. And so here I am, I'm just going to give you my take on awareness without judgment. And this is certainly nothing new. This is obviously not something that I, Lucy the Great, invented and am now delivering to you. This is like, since the dawn of time, there's been masters and teachers and people who have been teaching the whole idea, kind of non-judgmental awareness and how we don't need, how to let go of judgment, I guess. So like I said, these are kind of just my thoughts and discoveries around this whole topic of judgment, awareness, the witness, etc. Let's begin. Okay, so first things first, it's important to understand that there's two realities that we're coexisting in any given moment. The first one is reality. It's the quote-unquote truth. It's, you know, I'm sitting here in my house talking to a camera. This is just what's happening. And then the second reality is the virtual reality. So this is like this is the matrix, so to speak, that our thoughts overlay onto reality with our judgments, thoughts, ideas, beliefs that give reality a color. And so it's not the truth, it's an interpretation of the truth, I guess, that we make real for ourselves. And so my virtual reality might be thinking, I hope my hair looks okay, and I hope I say this right. So I kind of have this virtual reality going on. That's outside of the reality that I'm just talking to a camera. This is what's happening. It's inherently neutral. And then I have my colored reality telling me whether I'm doing a good job or a bad job. And so most of our pain and suffering comes from fighting this true reality and imposing our own thoughts and distortions upon it, when in fact it's a totally neutral thing, unbiased, just passing through our experience, ever changing. It's just life unfolding. But when we resist or make it wrong, it causes us pain. And when I was kind of journaling about what is judgment, I'll read you what I wrote. Judgment is a color and a filter that you put on a neutral image or scene, which is just a formation of energy. And it gives that scene a color or a mood. The mood is then referenced to your repository, where you've been given and compiled a list of programs to evaluate its level of appropriateness. Is it good or bad, right or wrong? And therefore how you should feel about it by witnessing it. So, a judgment, folks. It's probably a simpler way to say that. Then I did say it in a simpler way. So it's essentially freezing timelessness in time with a corresponding and absolute value. I hope that makes sense. You're kind of taking something that's just living and breathing and changing and moving, neutral, it just is, and kind of giving it like a label and a quality that kind of concretizes it, makes it concrete in time. So is judgment a bad thing? Oh, to say it was a bad thing would be to judge it. Do you see the problem here? So I guess when we're new in this world, there's so much going on. And judgment is kind of like a tool. If you're feeling lost, it can kind of give a concreteness to the chaos around you. It kind of sorts everything into categories. And that, I guess in our formative years of life, or after we've been conditioned formative years, is how we make meaning of our lives and how we see how we're doing in reference to the world. So it's kind of, it's almost like a training wheels. It's like a set of guidance that can be used if you're not fully tuned into your heart's guidance. So it's kind of like playing God in your own life, determining what's good and what's bad based on conditions and ideas that we've absorbed from our environment and from past generations. So it's kind of like this same artificial matrix being passed down and downloaded to each person that we use to kind of create collective meaning and to kind of bring stability to instability, but it's not necessary, and that's kind of what I'm going to get to. And so I write. What once served as a device for creating color and experience can also be a jailer and a limit to a full life experience. Our judgments also get in the way of experiencing the true reality. When we're too based in our matrix minds and we're unaware that we're in our matrix minds, we can be just, the storm just takes us this way and blows us that way. It's like a tornado of your mind's judgments. And you're not really being a conscious creator of your reality. And it's also really painful to be judgmental of others and yourself, because it kind of goes against your fundamental nature of love and being a part of experience, not the judge of experience. That's not really our natural role in life. The animals, the trees, no one else is doing that. We're doing that because we're all in our matrix mind, but it's not necessary. So we can become aware of our lives. We can still experience our lives and the range of emotions without judging and condemning life. So essentially, when you're using awareness, you're aware of the truth and you're aware of your mind's matrix, and you can kind of choose and jump between them. But now if you're going to make a judgment, you're making it because you see value in it, not because it's your default reflex to see that and say bad and this and say good. You're choosing based on your emotions and your heart and your intuition. And that way, that means you're free. That means you're awake. You're the witness now. You're choosing, you're deliberate. And you can choose thoughts, judgments, ideas that uplift you and the collective rather than just autopilot flying on judgment highway. How to do that? I think meditation, I've said it before, I'll say it again, is the most powerful tool for cultivating awareness and that witness state, because now you're creating this space where you can see your judgments, you can watch them occurring, and you can hold that non-judgmental space where you're not judging your judgments. And when you create that space and you do that witnessing, what you'll find is they'll naturally just pass through, they'll run their course, just like nature has its seasons and cycles. You're not holding on to or grasping or overanalyzing anything. You're letting it be. Now you're coming into your true nature, which is more that soft, receptive being that creates through their focus. And through doing this, you regain your control and you become an active participant in life instead of a kind of like a block in the current. Now you're a part of the current. A really helpful mantra that I actually got from the movie called The Shack, in that pivotal climax scene, is very simple: I am not the judge. And this is something I say often to myself because I'm like caught up in with myself or someone else or something. I'm not the judge. And my whole body goes, right. I'm not the judge. I don't know. I'm like this little human blip, as if I could condemn or even put anyone on a pedestal. I don't know. I know nothing, especially of others' experience and even of my own. How can I judge what's right or wrong? So many things that have gone wrong have led to right things, and right things have come to pass too, or led to something that was quote unquote wrong. And it doesn't matter. It's all just life. Right, wrong, who cares? It's just happening. And I am not the judge. So the next time you see someone doing something that you don't approve of, say, I am not the judge, and mean it. And it doesn't mean that you're going to now go do what they're doing. It just means that you're realizing that it's not your job to cast their value at any given moment in time. And some people might think like, oh, but if judgment's creating our stability, like, won't we be lost? Like, how will we know what to do or what's right and wrong? Which, as I said before, right and wrong are just judgments. They're constructs of the mind. But focusing can be done through attention and presence. And by focusing I mean creating and moving and making decisions in the world, which is obviously very important. So through this presence and attention, you're holding space for all things to be, and then just moving with your resonance. And what you're realizing with this resonance is, because it's resonant for you, doesn't make it more right than what another person's resonance is. Or because this choice is right for you, doesn't make the opposite of it wrong. This choice is just right for you. And it's coming to that awareness that we're all justified to be the choosers and creators of our reality. And what a lot of people don't realize, they think that if they don't condemn or push against the opposite, it'll encroach on their life and kind of flood out their experience and what they want. But what people don't realize is that this is a yes universe, and what we give our attention to is what expands in our life. So if you're spending all your time pushing against something you don't want, you're actually increasing its presence in your experience. Whereas if you could just turn your attention to what you do want and let everyone else do the same, then you would find peace. You would move towards what you want a lot faster, and everything else would just phase out of your experience. Blah, blah, blah. It's awesome. So yes, yes, yes. Once you kind of come into this woken state where you're a little bit more aware of your emotions and your felt state in any given time, you can now trust your heart and your intuition to guide you, and you'll start to feel your resonance more powerfully, and then you can just follow that. This feels right. Yes, yes, moving in this direction, while holding space and having grace for others to do the same. And focusing on not judging so-called like others, because we're all part of the one, is just a fraction of the equation. We make a million trillion micro judgments as we move through the day, especially of ourselves and our own behavior and appropriateness. And these ideas have just come from parents, teachers, our friends, the media. That's what's creating our metric, but we can release that. So any idea of should or right and wrong or appropriate, inappropriate, these are all kind of metrics that we've created as a collective and then created a matrix around that will just never capture the truth, because the truth is that we are immeasurable, infinite, ineffable, worthy, beyond any concept beings. And so to cast ourselves in a static way with a label or a judgment or a rule will just never, it'll always be a distortion. It'll never be the truth. And the universe, source, life is always approving of you. It's always knowing your rightness. The perfect only creates perfect. And it's only in believing the opposite, in believing you're wrong or inappropriate, that you could create a virtual reality that would prove that back to you, and then you would just believe it more. But it's still all in that virtual reality of the mind. It's still not the truth. It's not capturing your wholeness, because the truth is you're good and you can't do wrong. And the freedom comes when you wake up to your thoughts. You start to see them, you're witnessing, you're cultivating that awareness, and then you can lovingly and with care let your judgments go. Let them be free. Let them go. And we can practice this together here and now. So if you would join me, close down your eyes and take in a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top and exhale with a sigh. Pause here and just feel the spaciousness and the aliveness of your being. And now as thoughts come into your mind, just notice them like clouds in the sky. If a thought comes in, you can just say the word thought. And if you notice yourself judging yourself or this experience in any way, just say the word judgment. And look at them with kind of a detached curiosity, just holding space for everything to be. Even thinking a thought like, how long is this gonna last? That's a judgment. Or, I like this. That's also a judgment. So just being aware, whatever way, shape, or form it takes, just kind of giving it the label and then softening back into your presence energy. And as these thoughts continue to float by, just watch them, label them when you see them, let them be, and don't fight them. Remember that fighting them would imply that they're wrong, and that in and of itself is a judgment. For the next minute or so, just breathe and watch your thoughts with a compassionate, spacious, open mind, totally unaffected by their existence, just letting them be, pass through, stay if they like, all the while remaining the witness in your own mind, breathing deeply and fully. Go forth into your day with this spacious awareness, letting life be. Being a witness and being aware of your judgments. And when you catch yourself judging, don't judge yourself for judging. Just remind yourself, I am not the judge. I am life, I am love, I am energy in form, being and becoming. That's it. I'm wishing you just the most wonderful, spacious, awake, easeful day. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. It's something that's just, been so good in my life, and I feel honored to share it with you. I appreciate you so much, sending so much love, gratitude, and appreciation your way. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Woohoo! Oh, also, if you have any video ideas kind of related to these kinds of topics, please just put them in the comments down below and I'll do my best to make a video about it. Yeah, sending love.